Pit stops order of the day for the top 14 cars that will advance to the final 10 laps. Jeff Burton out quick.
Dave Blaney getting 4 tires. They're going to go up 1 pound on both right side tires. Up 2 rounds on the track bar. Blaney's car a little tight from the center off. Matt.
A 2-tire change for Jeff Burton, who entered pit road in the 3rd position. And Robbie Gordon, his water had climbed to 280. He ran over his hose on the exit to Dick Bergeron.
Mike Skinner didn't have enough water temperature, so they put a piece of tape on the right side of the grill. They'd had a piece of paper there. They were hoping the paper was going to stay. It didn't, so they took care of it with a little tape. He has taken 4 tires and fuel. Skinner back on the racetrack.
Now, except for the laps not counting, this is treated like a regular caution flag. So where you come out is where you will restart.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see what happens with the 7 and the 99. Because the 99 was in front of the 7, and he kind of passed him as they exited pit road. So I don't know how that'll turn out.
Looks like the... Wow, looks like the 7 possibly beat him. Looks like Jimmy Spencer. There you see it right there. There's the line. NASCAR's looking at it right now as we are speaking. So it definitely looked like Jimmy Spencer.
Well, Jeff Burton beat everybody on pit road. I mean, they got him out of there in a hurry.
Good stop. Real good stop. Those guys are happy about it right there.
Now watch, here comes Spencer. He's coming out of his pit box.
In a hurry.
In a hurry.
But you know he can, because he's in that final segment right there. There's not a segment to clock him in at 45 miles per hour.
Steve?
And Mike, just want to update you on Jimmy Spencer's service. He said his car was a little bit tight, so they made a track bar adjustment and changed just 2 tires.
And of all of our leaders that came in, which everybody did come in, the cars that changed just 2 tires was Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Burton, and Robbie Gordon. Of the guys that did change 4 tires, Mike Skinner and the Ford did beat everybody off pit road.
All right, let's show you the top 14. And here is how they completed the first 20 laps. The leader at that point was Mike Skinner, Dave Blaney. Now down through 14th place are the drivers that advance. From there down, Jeff Green, Mike Wallace, Larry Foyt, and the rest of these drivers are done for the night and will take home at least $28,000. Survival of the fastest is the theme of the night, and we've already had the first cut. 13 drivers are headed home. 14 of them are about to race 10 laps. We're about to go 10 green flag laps for 1 driver to advance. You're watching from the Goodyear Airship Stars and Stripes based in Pompano Beach, Florida. Continuing a 78-year tradition as the aerial ambassador of Goodyear. Denny's wants to send you to an upcoming race this season for a chance to win. Stay tuned throughout our coverage. We'll announce the 3 winners of the Denny's Taste Victory Sweepstakes. Denny's, a good place to sit and eat.
Okay, they come around here. The drivers are jacked up right now, both of them. There's Spencer up there in the 7 car, Burton in the 99. They know whoever gets into the first turn first got a pretty good chance of winning this race.
And Robbie Gordon had to make a penalty stop.
Yeah, he ran over his air hose, so he came to pit road, got his 2 tires, never give up. But I think that takes him out of the picture. Good news for Mike Skinner, because he'll start 3rd with 4 tires.
Green, get after it.
Better get after it. You only got 10 laps to do it, boys.
Skinner looking under Spencer as they go down to turn 1.
There's not room there.
No, there isn't.
There is?
No, there isn't.
No, there is.
Oh,
there is.
my
Spencer
God.
had to back up. Look at the run that Dave Blaney in the 77 got on the bottom. He goes by Mike Skinner. He's going to bring Brett Bodine with him. Mike had to get out of the throttle.
That's your chance. You got to lead this race going into first turn if you're going to go for the $1 million.
It's simple. Win or go home.
Boy, Robbie Gordon back there in that 31 car is going to give it all he's got, Larry. He's coming up through there, and he's got 4 tires.
Now remember, this will be all green laps. Cautions will not count if we do have a caution. Jeff Burton in the 99 leading 2 tires, just a sparking down there. Dave Blaney in 2nd. He has 4 tires. Can he do it?
Now the rules are short track style, Saturday night weekly racing style. If the caution comes out, they revert back to the last green lap for scoring, and only the green flag laps count.
Boy, Burton's car was so good in that first 20-lap segment. I don't know if Blaney can do it or not.
And they're starting to pull away from 3rd place Mike Skinner in the 4 car.
They're mirroring each other lap times, 29.87, 29.88.
4th is Brett Bodine, 5th is Kenny Wallace, 6th Jimmy Spencer, 7th Kyle Petty, and 8th Greg Biffle.
You're right, Darrell. I mean, Blaney is not gaining on Burton. He's really not losing. Looks like he beats him a little bit getting him to turn 3. Really good right there through the middle, but Burton's able to pick the throttle up, beat him off the corner.
It's a 2-horse race. Burton and Blaney.
Just knowing Jeff Burton the way I do Mike Larry, he thinks he knows he belongs in the Winston. That's where he should be, and he's going to do everything he can to get himself into it.
You know, when I talked to him this morning, as I mentioned earlier, he had that confidence about it too.
Well, it was quick in practice last night. There's his wife, Kim. Kim always looks like she's so nervous, tense. Come on, baby.
In fact, Jeff Burton's starting to pull away from Dave Blaney now. It's almost like Dave Blaney used his stuff up those first couple of laps trying to catch him.
I think Burton's car is good on the long run. That's what he was in that first 20-lap segment, and it's showing again.
And that's what he was last night. He made long runs in that practice last night.
Burton has been in the Winston 8 times. Blaney is looking for his first All-Star Game appearance.
And if you say, well, if he wins this race, can he win the Winston? Just think about last year.
Ryan Newman did just that.
This guy's getting 30 laps on these other guys right now. He's been out there practicing for 30 laps.
And that's halfway on our 10 laps right there. 5 laps to go.
Jimmy Spencer has settled in at 5th, and Robbie Gordon's charge. He is stuck at 10th and may be overhauled for that position by John Andretti, and is. And Robbie Gordon's gone to the back.
And just remember, we got a report a while ago that he thought he was having some engine problems. And I'm going to tell you what, Jeff Burton, he's walking the dog right now, DW.
He's got that whip out.
And you know, we've been watching this team for the last few weeks. They've really started to come on. Brad Parrott joined that team after being crew chief for Dale Jarrett, the car chief, and they're really starting to come on here in the last month or so. Paul Andrews, now I think Brad Parrott is complimenting Paul Andrews, the crew chief.
Larry, you know this like everybody does. You can't do it by yourself.
No,
you got to have good people, and adding Parrott to the program has really made a difference.
Like the head football coach, you got to have a good defensive coordinator, good offensive coordinator. You got to have the whole package.
Well, Brad and Jeff worked so well together on the Busch car. I mean, they had instant success, won 5 or 6 races last year, so they got good chemistry.
Brad Parrott.
And what they're doing right there, they're getting themselves prepared. They're not counting their money before they win it, but they're getting themselves prepared for the changes they have to make if that car transfers to the Winston.
And you know, it's just like they're talking to him right now. What are we going to do? What do we need to do? And if I was him, the way his car looks, the kind of lap times I'm running, I'd say I don't want to do anything.
The reason we're not showing you any Fox tracks here about a transfer spot, the only transfer spot is right there.
You couldn't pick drivers with 2 more diverse backgrounds to be racing for this win. Burton came off the short track at South Boston, Virginia into the NASCAR Busch Series. Dave Blaney came from open wheel racing. He was World of Outlaws champion, and he runs second, 0.8 of a second behind with 1 lap to go.
White flag, bail out.
And just so you folks know, it's almost $50,000 to win this.
Yes, it is.
$42,000 for second, $38,000 for third. But the only place that counts is first.
You're pretty much just going to guarantee Jeff Burton over $100,000 because it pays over $60,000 just to start the Winston.
Out of turn number 4, it's Burton for certain. He advances to the Winston.
His cheese bars have been getting it on here the last couple of weeks.
He'll make his 8th consecutive appearance in the All-Star race.
For everybody else, it pretty much ended up being a test session for the Coca-Cola 600 next week. Dave Blaney second, Mike Skinner third. Brett Bodine, good run for Brett, finishing 4th. And Greg Biffle, that rookie, finishes 5th.
Good job, son.
Well, some passed the test, and some didn't. Some go home happy. Some go home mad.
And this survival of the fastest format will continue throughout the evening. Every time a segment ends in the All-Star race, somebody goes home. Now, Jeff Burton's crew, Larry, they have the unenviable task of having to turn that car around quickly to compete in the All-Star race.
I mean, they'll fill it up with fuel. They'll cool the engine down. They'll put 4 fresh tires. They're going to talk, Paul and Brad and Jeff, they'll talk extensively about maybe, I don't look for them to make major changes on that race car, but they may tweak on it just a little bit.
Put me 4 fresh tires on there and go run some more.
That's Paul Andrews right there. Again, Jeff didn't even have his helmet off, and they're already talking about, hey, what do we need to do with this race car?
Take the caps off. Take the caps off. Be different.
You see the hand motion. Looks like he's talking about little adjustments, Darrell.
Yeah, I'm sure he's saying, look, the car's not that. We can't do anything major here. A little tweak here, a little tweak there. He's getting both of the guys are. What do you think? That's what they're both saying right now. What do you think?
In there, guys.
They got him. They got him.
No, don't need the caps.
They got him off, Brett.
I can give him a hat.
What you hear is everybody discussing victory lane protocol. Dick Berggren's there.
Well, Jeff Burton, as he's climbing out of his car, this is exactly victory lane, but congratulations, Jeff Burton. How bad you want to win that one?
Pretty bad, but we got work to do. Night's not over. We got a fast car. Need to pay attention to what's ahead of us, not what's behind us.
What are you going to do to the car?
We got a few little things we want to do. We just need to free it up just a little bit in some places and tighten it up a little more in others.
Gauge is okay, engine okay?
Oh yeah, we got no problems.
All right. Congratulations, Chris.
And welcome to the Visa Race Break. You're watching the Winston Open just completed. Jeff Burton advances with Jeff Hammond. I'm Chris Myers. A lot of action to come here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. A reaction on a veteran like Jeff Burton who wants to be a part of the big party, the All-Star Show, the 24th car in.
Well, you got to realize right now, Chris, he has been a winner before, so he's had an opportunity to run in this race, and for him to be on the outside looking in is a great motivator for him. He knows all his teammates are running the Winston, so he wanted to have a good run. They've had a great car since they got here at Charlotte. He had a lot of confidence when I talked to him the other day, so I'm not surprised to see these guys start 18th and work their way to the front.
All right, what you saw was the play-in race, if you will, the race that would put one of the drivers, Jeff Burton, in, and it got off to a rough start, Jeff Hammond. Let's take a look as Steve Park on the pole has problems at his black flag right out of the box here.
Yeah, right there. NASCAR says you can't start a race till you reach a certain point on the straightaway. He jumped that point. He was black flag for it.
Stop and go penalty, and then we have problems. Mike Wallace, who was in the 01 car for Jerry Nade, who spins and saves it, and then we see Jeremy Mayfield involved.
Yeah, Jeremy Mayfield as well as Jeff Green, and then at that time our leader, Todd Bodine, he gets collected from turning the inside wall and knocked out of the race.
And later on, Jeff Green was involved as well, and Jeff Burton came on to lead the final 10 laps after he saw the 20 laps when they eliminated cars and had just 14 to go. And Jeff Burton advances 8th time. He'll be running in the Winston, so we still have 90 laps to go, and they race for the $1 million payoff.
Chris, right there, you saw the restart of the second half of this deal, and you saw Jeff Burton be able to get through that little restart deal between Mike Skinner as well as Jimmy Spencer, and that was the difference right now between winning and losing, I think, for this 99 car.
All right, and Jeff, this is the team real quick. They had turned the car around. They got a lot of work to do.
Got a lot of work to do. They're filling the car up right now and talking to NASCAR about what they need to do.
All right, we'll meet the drivers and their crews, the guys who do the work behind the scenes. Jeff and I are going to rush out to the stage live down on the track here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Don't go away. We'll be back on FX.